What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Whole Milk All Fat Sports Chat on WCCR Rutgers Camden Online Radio. Like always, I'd like to introduce myself and my co-hosts. I'm Anthony.
I'm Jack.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
Jack, I like your presentation, but if you could be a little less monotone every time we start the show, I feel like that would be pretty good. But I
Monte,
still love you, though.
I've been having a really hard time with everything in my life right now. And you saying that just made me feel very uncomfortable and very bad about myself. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Says the guy that got a 139 out of 130 on his last midterm.
Says the guy who brags about getting Raptor Ambassador of the Month. It was really hurtful.
Look, guys. We like to promote WCCR as a safe space, right? So I'm going to have to ask you to tone it down just a little bit.
Remember, anyone can come down and watch an episode live.
They just see four sad guys who have nothing better to do but host a radio show.
One of them
at
doesn't even know
3:30
about
on a
sports.
Wednesday. At 3:30 on a Wednesday.
Listen,
And no one listens to it besides our parents.
No, don't. You know what? How dare you say that? How
Yeah,
many
our
people?
friend
How many people
Spencer
like?
also watches.
How many people like the Facebook page that we don't know? It's like 2 people, right?
No, they liked a single post, but not the page itself.
No, I thought 2.
No.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
Our YouTube episodes only have like 10 views. So
And all
whoever's
10 of them-
listening out there, please subscribe to our YouTube channel
Spread the word.
and
all-
watch and share, because I kind of want to host the show on WIP, but that'd just be nice. That'd be
I
nice.
want to be able to interview someone with that's like a C-list celebrity.
Once we get callers, maybe, once we know how to interact with callers, maybe.
I don't think we'll ever get callers.
No, we'll get
maybe
callers.
eventually.
I mean, they're all going to be Jeremy, but we'll get them.
You never know. I mean, maybe one day we can get like an internship at WIP at like I said, like at 2 a.m. when all the crazy people call in. Anyway, today on Whole Milk.
So,
Well, first, it's Wednesday, February 28th, and the Sixers suck again. But
Yep.
first, NFL news.
yeah, NFL news first. So, okay. No, wrong.
Nope,
he's not on the ball.
No, you are not.
Well,
No.
I wasn't sure.
No.
We said NFL, not NHL.
I'm one off.
No, I had it in order. No, go to the first picture.
It was not in order.
Yes, it is. There we go.
Matthew.
What
Come
did you
on,
say?
Matthew.
You just said NFL. You never
So-
said who, so I
so-
didn't know where to go.
Okay, so Marcus Peters of the Chiefs, who was rumored to be traded, has officially been traded to the Rams.
For what?
So-
What did the Rams give up to acquire a very top 10 cornerback?
Marcus Peters and the Chiefs' 6th-round pick this year went to the Rams for their 2nd-round pick in 2019 and this year's 4th-round pick.
Can you say fleeced?
Robbery.
Yep.
Let me say something real quick. Do you know who I think we should trade? I think we should trade Matthew for we should trade Matthew to Rowan for my boy James G. Because he's suffering and I need more friends in biology.
Are you trying to start? Are you trying to usurp the technician spot?
Yes.
That's a strike.
You're telling
Sorry.
me wait. So you're
Strike.
telling me it's a strike when he didn't queue up the right picture and he fell asleep.
Well, he
Oh,
officially got it. He
see?
did in
See,
fact
now
get
you're
a,
gonna-
did
Yep.
get a strike for falling
See,
asleep.
I have a strike for falling asleep. Who got 2 strikes last semester? So if anything, you're
For-
the weakest link.
for what?
I might be the second
For what?
weakest, but you're still the weakest.
Because you
Who,
skipped out
who got a strike because they had to help their grandma move furniture?
and finished moving the furniture before the show started and could have gotten here. Yeah, I see how it is.
You.
And let's continue.
By the way, furniture was in air quotes.
So the Chiefs gave up a really talented corner for basically nothing.
For the culture.
Yeah, the Chiefs got just completely robbed for in this trade. But it helps out the Rams a lot because they're already great defense. Now just got an even better ball hawk corner.
Which is really what their defense did not have.
Yeah, so this trade doesn't go official until free agency starts, and to continue with the free agency narrative, or stories about it, Ezekiel Ansah has been franchise tagged.
All I remember about Ezekiel Ansah is at the draft he said the Lions were going to win the Super Bowl,
So,
and he's got a couple sacks.
I guess this gives a year for Matt Patricia to see if he fits his schemes, and I guess they decide from there if they want to keep him.
Well, isn't it? It's like every other year he's been really good.
Yeah, he's been kind of like Doug Martin, back and forth.
Except Ezekiel Ansah isn't addicted to painkillers
Don't
and
worry
pets.
about that. Don't worry about that. Vontae Davis has signed a 1-year deal worth $5 million with the Bills, and there's up to $3 million in incentives.
Cool. The Bills still are not worth a damn, and I don't think they deserve to make the play. I don't think they deserve to make the playoffs because of the bullshit tiebreakers.
Muhammad Wilkerson has been officially released, like we rumored earlier.
Yep, all the Jets getting rid of all their young defensive ends after they spent 4 years building it.
And Matt Forte retires. Remember when he said he wanted to go to a competitive team?
And then he signed with the Jets because no one wants a 30-year-old running back.
Yeah, so also the biggest contract news is Blake Bortles signing his extension with the Jaguars. 3 years, $54 million, 26.5 guaranteed upon signing.
But it's basically just the 1-year deal because I think it's like next year is just all the guaranteed money, and then the year after that they can cut him for pretty good savings. So it's not like it's not really a 3-year deal. It's like Nick Foles' contract. Like technically Nick Foles has a 6-year deal, but it's actually 2 because if he's on the roster for 2 years, he gets automatically released.
Well, NFL contracts always lie, but this is a great deal, getting him for about like $18 million a season. This is really good for the Jaguars to keep that strong defense and offense together.
Yeah, it gives them some more flexibility so they can re-sign Allen Robinson and see if Bortles didn't. I mean, Bortles was pretty good in the playoffs, so see if he can keep that going. So that takes one more team out of the hunt for Kirk Cousins. So it's probably, I'm expecting Vikings at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised because the Jets are literally going to offer him their entire team just to sign Kirk Cousins. So we'll see about that. We'll probably know in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, so that's one less team. The Vikings, they cleared out the house for all their quarterbacks, most likely to make room.
Yes, Teddy's gone. They're not going to re-sign Sam Bradford, and Keenum is not getting franchise tagged.
Yep.
So it's going to be an interesting quarterback free agency this year. Let's see who goes where and for how much money.
Another retiring is Donnie Jones.
Do-rag Donnie. Do-rag Donnie.
Well, Donnie Longball, too.
Yeah, but he likes do-rag Donnie.
No, you got to give him his correct nickname, Donnie Bag of Bones Jones, which he called himself during the Super Bowl.
He was the only punter to play in Super Bowl 52 because there was only one punt that entire game, and it was his punt. So, I mean, not much to say about this besides that he holds a lot of the Eagles' records for punting. I didn't even know that teams kept track of those, so that was interesting when I found out. So it helps save the Eagles a little bit more on cap space, but it only frees up about like $500,000 and a half.
Eagles dynasty falling apart already.
Yeah, they lost their punter, who was 40 years old. Well, 37. But, yeah, I think it was a good choice for him to go off into the sunset rather than get cut or not have his career end the way he wanted it to. So, congrats to him on a great career, and best of luck in his future endeavors.
Thank you for playing for Philadelphia.
Thank you for punting for that one punt in the Super Bowl.
And now in just regular NFL news, we have Papa John's no longer being the sponsor for the NFL.
The NFL. If Papa John never said anything about the NFL back when all the anthem protests were going on and people were getting real mad about it, then then Papa John's would still be the official sponsor. But now, Papa John's is literally falling apart ever since that happened.
They lost their
Yep.
owner, CEO, and CFO.
So, and their NFL partnership.
Yep.
So, see ya, Papa John's. Pizza Hut, my new best friend.
Yeah,
Friendship
NFL
ended.
franchise ends friendship with Papa John's. Now Pizza Hut is everybody's favorite pizza best friend.
So
Yeah. So the real question here is, what retired quarterback is Pizza Hut gonna get to put in their commercials? Because I think Donovan McNabb would be a good one, because Pizza Hut, I don't think anybody really cares about Pizza Hut, and no one really cares about Donovan McNabb, even though he's pretty good.
I don't know. I think they might be able to get Brett Favre.
Or they get who else? Brett Favre,
What's his name from the Steelers?
Ben Roethlisberger,
No.
No, he's not retired.
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, Terry
He's too
Bradshaw.
old. He needs to be someone more recent.
All right, Brett Favre it is.
I can't see Brett Favre doing Pizza Hut. He's too busy doing jeans and the shaving
Well,
thing.
no, you see what happens is it's a 2-part commercial. It's like a Tide Pod ad where it starts out with
Wait, a Tide Pod ad?
Tide ad.
It's a Tide ad.
no, it's Tide Pods.
It's not no.
yeah, so-
Gronk did the Tide Pod ad where he's like, no, do not eat these.
Oh wait, that's something else we got to talk about too, because
Yeah.
Gronk is apparently actually. I thought there's a lot more weight to these Gronk rumors than I thought.
Yeah, he's been contemplating retirement at the beginning of training camp and supposedly did not enjoy the 2017 season.
Who knew
Wonder
that?
why.
Probably because Gronk just likes to party.
Probably.
Yo soy fiesta.
It's just a party, man.
Yeah, and then apparently the Patriots are also mad about him doing TB12 and all that. That'd be another good person to put in your Pizza Hut commercials, Tom Brady. But is Tom Brady allowed to eat pizza?
No.
That's the real question.
No, he can't eat tomatoes. I
Could
know the
could
Tom
he
Brady
just
diet.
Could he just eat like left beef pizza?
No, he probably wouldn't eat that either.
Well,
He has a very strict diet.
maybe
If they sold avocado ice cream,
maybe Tom Brady will he'll have a sponsorship with Pizza Hut, and they create the TB12 pizza, the
And-
TB12 pizza, where it's literally nothing. You just eat air and drinks water.
air in a box. It's just a bucket of water. Prevent those sunburns.
Yeah.
No,
God
it's just
damn it.
water poured into a pizza box.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the new Pizza Hut retired quarterback sponsor. We'll see if Gronk retires. I think I definitely see him retiring, and he gets a deal with either WWE or he stars in a couple of second-rate action movies, because they're gonna try and make him the next Rock, and it's just not gonna work because he's not gonna be as good an actor. Well, I mean, The Rock isn't really a good actor. He's just funny.
And charismatic.
Yeah, and
I-
big.
I think the WWE might have a good chance after they got Ronda Rousey to give up her career
Yeah.
and sign with them.
I didn't even. I can't believe Ronda Rousey actually did that. I guess she got beat up like her last 2 fights were really bad before she
They
joined.
were really bad losses, so I think her stock was tanking.
Yeah, she what'd she do? She put Triple H through a table, so there was that, on her first actual event. So, she also wears Roddy Piper's jacket.
Because-
that's part of her outfit. Because
Sure.
yeah, why not? WWE's got to get more popular somehow before the XFL.
But speaking of, but continue with the sponsorships ending. Dallas Cowboys are no longer using Ticketmaster as their main provider and are now using SeatGeek.
And Jerry Jones is about to receive the full force of Garage Goodell's wrath for holding up his contract talks. So that'll be interesting. That'll probably only add more fuel to the fire until either Jerry dies or Goodell leaves. That'll be interesting because it's apparently supposed to be like the biggest fine in NFL history, and I can't imagine it's gonna make Jerry Jones very happy.
Yeah.
Jera.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been a bad offseason for Jerry Jones, who apparently screams into his pillow thinking about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Don't we all?
I did.
I didn't.
Mike definitely does. Yeah, I slept like a baby after the Super Bowl. I don't know what it was. Like I slept so well. Had wonderful dreams about holding the Lombardi trophy, like getting to touch it after the parade. I slept like a baby that night. I don't know why you didn't, Mike. I don't understand why.
One can only wonder. Speaking of bad organizations, let's talk about the NCAA for once. It seems like the FBI investigation is coming towards a close, and they have found
That the NCAA has been playing its players for years. Who would have thought?
but no, it's totally fine because they're quote unquote loans that they only have to pay back if they make a bunch of money in the NBA. Yeah, so it's been revealed that people have been being paid, some as big as like Markel Fultz made 10,000, or Malcolm Brogdon a $64 meal.
Yeah. Now it's kind of stupid because the NCAA is gonna be like, "Oh, we never knew this was happening." Like, "Oh, we like no, shut up. If you just paid your players, this whole thing could be solved easily." But
that costs money.
yeah, instead we gotta do all this backhanded stuff, and now the NCAA gets to try and look good in the scenario, which I don't personally think the NCAA is looking very good either. I mean, the whole pain, I think it kind of makes me mad that these players are like they should just be paid because they're really not getting an education. Like they're supposed to, it's like, they're getting paid with education, but they're too busy playing basketball to focus on going to class, so they take fake classes like at North Carolina.
Well, then here's the thing, like that would give every single other sport. Do other athletes in different sports get paid? Like college athletes, like
I think it should be based off of how much revenue that sport brings into the school. Because when you have like Texas A&M bringing in millions of dollars to the organization, and the players don't get a cent of it.
Yeah. Or you got places like schools like Oregon who build a brand new Nike training facility every 5 years.
So that way they can claim they are not making any money.
yeah, it would have to be. I would assume if they're going to pay players for the NCAA, I would assume it has to be all or nothing, because then every single other college player is going to be like, well, why can't I get paid?
And even if you don't have the colleges directly pay them, allow them to get sponsorship deals. A player could easily get like local TV ads, or like basketball players that are one and dones. They could easily start off their contracts with Nikes a year early, or at least let them sell their autographs, or get money for their jerseys that the school sells of them. Make it so that way they can get money their own. If you're going to claim that colleges can't afford to pay the players, just let them gain their
Because
own money,
they-
their own means, because they'll do so anyway. Like Reggie Bush,
Obviously, if
he had his
Markel
Heisman taken
Fultz,
away.
if Markel Fultz got paid $10,000, obviously these colleges have more than enough money to pay the players.
And
Pay the players.
I think a player in this draft got like $100,000 to go to the college. And as LeBron James said, NCAA is corrupt. We know that. Sorry, it's going to make headlines, but it's corrupt, because I think people have known this for a while, but now it's become mainstream. And I think the NBA should be looking at that one and done rule and seeing how they should modify it.
Or just, because the NBA could just, the one and done rule is stupid. And then it's like they don't let anybody come out of high school anymore, because you need 1 year of experience out of high school before you can jump into the NBA. But it's going to be interesting, because now LeVar, I wonder what this is going to do, because, like the thing that LeVar Ball wants to create a basketball league for college players that don't want to go to the NCAA, and they'll get paid. I think that'll help. That's definitely going to help LeVar Ball building his brand, and eventually becoming head coach of the Lakers and forming the super team of the century that just passes the ball to the balls.
And as Obama said, the NCAA can't serve as a farm system for the NBA. I think the NBA should push to make every team have to have a G League team, and then focus on getting rid of the one and done, and then just having more people be willing to put their draft picks into the G League to bring up the overall talent level of the G League.
Yeah, and a lot of these, I don't know it'll be interesting to see how the NCAA is going to punish all these programs, because the NCAA knew this whole thing was going on. They just didn't want They just didn't want to come out with it and look bad.
And they can't put sanctions on like half of each.
Yeah, on half the
league.
top, on most of the top schools in the country, because that's who was. It's not like it was like some small schools trying to do it just to get like good players. It was like the top schools in the nation. It's like Kentucky, Duke,
Washington.
Washington,
Villanova.
Arizona. Big schools that, that this definitely is gonna probably change the way college basketball and the draft is done in the future, which will be very interesting.
Yeah, I really hope the NBA just gets rid of the one and done and lets them come straight out of high school and then just expand the G League. Make that a better spot for players to get paid a little bit, at least, and still gain experience. To round up the NCAA talk, Sharif O'Neal has officially committed to a college now after decommitting from Arizona. He has chosen UCLA.
I guess Sharif O'Neal was upset that Sean Miller didn't have a wiretap conversation with him about $100,000. So, yeah, I guess Shaquille O'Neal and Sharif O'Neal, they're forming the new UCLA dynasty. How many kids does Shaq have that are ready to go into college?
I think just Sharif. I don't think he has like any others that are close.
Well, I want to see Shaq's going to try and become LeVar Ball now.
I really hope that
Shaq already has enough money, dude. He's doing the commercials for like Carnival Cruises or something.
Dude, he'll do a
he's
commercial
he's
for
going to be
literally
in the
anyone.
Uncle Drew movie.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Shaq Fu? It's pretty hard to top that.
Yeah, we got to get Shaq Fu. I think we're going to get Shaq Fu too.
Yeah.
I'd watch that in theaters right after
Shaq-
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Shaq Fu's a video game.
You know what I meant.
Do you mean Kazam?
Shazam.
Yeah,
Shazam
that's the
2.
one. Shazam.
Now we're going to get Shazam 2.
No, we're gonna get Uncle Drew. We went from Shazam to Uncle Drew.
Can we get a Space Jam remix where it's Shaquille O'Neal?
No, it's gonna be in LeBron, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's been rumored for like 10 years now at this
yeah,
point.
Space Jam 2, LeBron.
I guess you gotta wait till LeBron gets closer to retirement.
It's just
No,
gonna be.
you gotta have LeBron retire and then come out of retirement.
And we
Yeah.
should throw Brendan Fraser in there. I think his career needs that
Let's
help.
get Brendan Fraser in
Yeah,
there too.
yeah. What you need to do is you have LeBron retire, and then at the end of the
Brendan
movie,
Fraser's the Bill Murray character.
Yeah.
there you go. And then at the end of the movie, LeBron announces he's entering the NBA, and no one knows until the movie comes out, and that's his official announcement that he's joining the NBA
yeah,
again.
it's like Marvel movies. Like at the end of you watch the entire credits, and then at the end of the credits, a video of LeBron saying, "I'm coming back to the NBA. I wanted to retire to make this movie, and I'm coming back though."
Don't worry.
I want to make it clear that Whole Milk is in fact willing to work with directors and producers in Hollywood to produce this movie for a reasonable price.
We
Yeah.
have some
And then
high school level experience.
our only requirement is that Brendan Fraser must star in the movie.
Yes.
He
In
must
some
have a feature
capacity.
role. If anyone doubts our filmmaking prowess, just Google 10-day film challenge. 10-day. Just Google Behind the Badge 2, because you won't be able to find the first one if you don't find the second one.
Yep.
And watch those, and then you can also watch Fitting In, 10-day film challenge, New
Yep.
Jersey.
We placed top 30 for that one.
We were nominated for best poster, and we should have won.
You
But
can't doubt skill like that.
a friend who is not a part of the show misspelled Matt's name on the posters, so we lost.
Well, let's get back on topic. I kind of hope Sharif O'Neal picks Lonzo Ball's number, and as Shaq goes to completely try to erase LeVar Ball from history. I think that's the ultimate
Yeah,
power move.
Now we got Ball versus O'Neal. We need to get Sharif O'Neal on the Lakers too.
and then we got to get Shaq and LeVar to do a 1v1.
Yeah, we'll see how that'll be. I'd pay good money to see that.
Oh, to see a super old, out of weight, overweight Shaq play
Out
against-
of weight.
Playing a guy who averaged 2.2 points in 1 year in college basketball.
Don't say you'd pay good money too loud, because LeVar Ball might start his own TV network just to solely broadcast the 1v1 and charge maybe about $5,000 per view. So don't say that too loud.
And the stream's gonna cut out every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It'll just be Lonzo with like a laptop webcam, like holding it up above his.
and
And
his
I wish we had the mobile camera so like you could see the motion that I'm doing. But I'm turning around in the chair and just holding up like an imaginary laptop, and just it's the wireless laptop,
And you see
stream
just
cuts
the
out.
top chunk of his head.
Yeah.
And he's using the laptop mic. There's no actual mic.
Yeah, it's just he just takes his fancy MacBook because he can probably afford it, and he just holds it above his head and just live streams from the MacBook's webcam. He doesn't even have any professional broadcasting or anybody who does this for a living. You just live stream it on your phone. Anybody can do it.
So I forgot to get a picture for this, but the Warriors, to celebrate their championship, instead of going to the White House, today they are going to the African American Museum with students from Seat Pleasant, which is Durant's hometown.
Kevin Durant's still a snake.
Snake. All right, let's.
Is the logo for the high school there a snake? Is that the team mascot?
That's the mascot.
The snakes.
So let's start.
Wait. What's the name of the town again?
Seat Pleasant.
The Seat Pleasant Serpents.
Ooh.
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 Get it changed. All right, so this next section in the news, I just want to call it the LeBron block because it's just all
This is going to be
LeBron.
probably a recurring segment for
for a little bit.
until
Leave these pictures
free
in.
agency.
Yeah,
NBA.
So LeBron James becomes the first player to collectively get 30,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, and 8,000 assists.
And some Philly business bought a billboard in Cleveland that says, "We want LeBron."
3 billboards.
And LeBron said, and we quote,
That's dope.
"Dope."
Yeah,
that's dope.
so the billboards say complete the process. That should be the new hashtag we should push. Hashtag complete the process.
Complete the process. Bring back Sam Hinkie though. Too. That's the real.
He was blackballed from the league. He's never allowed back.
No. Don't worry about
He's gone forever.
Tell Adam Silver I'll give him a smooch on the cheek to bring back Sam Hinkie.
Adam Silver is a no nonsense.
You'll give him
owner.
a big fat smoochie on the top of his big shiny bald head.
You're just gonna need a little step ladder to get up there.
So, hashtag complete the process. What else?
So, it was complete the process, and it showed the lineup, the potential lineup of Simmons, Covington, Embiid, Sarge, and LeBron on the court.
And it didn't even include Fultz.
Mysteriously left him out.
Yeah.
They obviously haven't been listening to the show, so they don't know what's going on in Fultz Watch.
They obviously haven't watched every single second they
obviously
can of
hasn't-
him taking a jump shot
Yeah,
like
they
I
obvi-
have.
They obviously have not listened to Whole Milk. They aren't caught up on Philadelphia sports. Follow Whole Milk on Twitter at Whole Milk Chat.
Yeah, JJ Redick would call me a little creepy for watching every single video that comes out from his practice of him taking a jump shot, but I will continue to do it.
Yeah. So, I think it's all but confirmed. I think, in my personal opinion, if the Cavs do not win the title, LeBron is gone. But it'll be interesting to see what happens because I think it's very possible that LeBron does come here if the Sixers want him and he wants out of Cleveland, and it would definitely be would definitely complete the process. I don't know how that team would exist, but it would be crazy. And they're gonna play tomorrow night. So maybe LeBron will have some conversations in the locker room.
Also, I just want to make a note that during All-Star break, LeBron was seen in Philly checking out some of the private schools.
I definitely think that tomorrow, when LeBron does whatever pregame or postgame chat he always does, because obviously he's,
LeBron
has
James.
a press conference every single game before and after. He doesn't have the little interviews like we do, but I think there will definitely be a lot of questions about whether or not he's really considering coming to Philadelphia, and depending on how the Sixers play, I definitely also do think that we'll be able to gauge how he feels about potentially playing with the Sixers after tomorrow night.
Well, we already know that he's a huge fan of Ben Simmons.
He just thinks Ben Simmons is the next him.
Yeah, calls him his son.
So, yeah, maybe we'll get flip the picture so we can get the cool one.
Yeah.
New and improved.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a cool mentor son. LeBron He'll join us. He'll retire with us, and he'll train Ben Simmons to become new him.
And I think this is a good move for LeBron because we all know by now that he likes to coast through the regular season, and since the team's so young, they can energize and play by themselves.
It's the kind of team LeBron needs to succeed. A bunch of young wings, athletic big man that can score, rebound, play defense.
He's never played with a big like Embiid. The closest would be
Shaq.
No. Cause Shaq
Kevin
was
Love.
washed up when he.
Well,
played.
Kevin Love can space the floor.
No, no. The closest was Big Z back when before he moved in his first stint with the Cavs. That was the closest, but does not compare to Embiid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the amount of paint dominance you'd have between LeBron, Embiid, and Simmons. Who's
That
going to
team-
guard that?
Yeah, that team wouldn't need to shoot threes to win.
Yeah, just drive for twos all day. Can't stop them. And Dario, he's coming around. He's proven this season that he's a lot better as a shooter.
Yeah, and he should be a starter. He doesn't need to come off the bench.
Covington, he hasn't been the same since he got injured, so it'll be interesting to see next season if he plays closer to first half Covington, this current half Covington, or back to the mean shooting percentage-wise from three. It'll be interesting to see that. And then we have potential to bring back Redick on a cheap deal. And then if Fultz develops.
If we sign LeBron, I think Redick will definitely want to come back.
So, yeah, people say we don't have shooters. We do. It's just that they're not all healthy or together all at once.
Yep. And speaking of Sixers, more Sixers news. Ersan Ilyasova, he's coming back. So we just released Trevor Booker like not even an hour ago. And that basically clears the roster spot that's rumored to be Ersan Ilyasova. It's exactly what the Sixers need because they need another big that can space the floor to get Embiid and Simmons more scoring opportunities. And
we are the Sixers. Give us all of your
give us all of the
3-point
Hawks bench
white men.
players. Give us all of the bought-out Hawks bench players, please.
They will do better on our team.
Yeah.
Because Bellinelli has been pretty good. He's been not consistent. He's been a little streaky, but he's definitely helped because he's better than Jared
Yeah.
Bayless.
So much for that Okafor trade.
Well, I like to imagine it that we traded Jalil for second-round pick and Stauskas for Ilyasova and Bellinelli. So it looks good in that aspect
Yeah, got some key bench contributors.
for the playoff push.
Yep. So that's Ersan's going to be back. We'll probably be back. Probably sign later today, I bet.
Yeah, there's a chance he could play against the Cavs, but I think it's more likely he'll get minutes against the Hornets on Friday.
Yeah.
But also, you have to look at it as it was rumored that the Sixers were going to trade for both Bellinelli and Ersan, and we got them both for free.
Yep. So we don't have to. Well, we're paying money, but we didn't have to give anything up.
We didn't have to give up second-round picks like expected.
Yep. So farewell, Trevor Booker. Your Sixers tenure was not memorable.
He just didn't fit the team. He's probably going to go to another contender. Who he's going to go to, though?
The
That's-
Cavs.
Maybe. He could. He could also go to, like, the OKC or something. Who knows? Trevor Booker also stated recently that his goal is to become a billionaire.
Maybe he should invest in Bitcoin because I don't think that's going to happen in basketball.
Well, he has investments in he has some safe investments, and then he also has invested in a handful of startups. So, maybe he can be Shaq and just own franchises and Five Guys and Krispy Kremes.
Starring in
and-
commercials.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Five Guys, please sponsor us. I want a burger. I want to get catered food brought to the studio, please.
Literally anyone.
Any
Please
person that will
sponsor
give
us.
us money, we'll give you a shout out on this channel.
Yeah.
We don't care.
We're sellouts.
We're sellouts. We'll sell out within the first year of running this show.
I don't see a problem.
The station's going to need to start turning a profit somehow.
Maybe.
All this equipment was expensive. We gotta start raising money.
All right.
If we could break, if we could break even, I think that would be pretty
That's a
substantial.
memorable achievement.
Yeah, our budget's mainly most of our expenses is in post-it notes, because we go through them like crazy.
Now we're on the notepads. I donated my free Rutgers Camden notepad to the WCCR radio station.
And I'll probably
so
donate mine,
Rutgers
too.
Camden, please embrace Monte Carlo with another pack of notepad with another notepad.
And feel free to make some WCCR stationery.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to take donations for paper.
So I guess we have a Furcan update too.
Yep. He tweeted out that he's he put quote on my way. So, I don't think I think at this point it's too late for him to get minutes on the starting roster.
Yep.
But I think it's good for him to be able to finish up the season in the G League.
Yep.
And to continue to get more training and develop for next season, and also just in case we get some injuries in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then just to wrap up some Sixers stuff. So they're playing the Cavs tomorrow. I don't know how that game's going to go considering how they were on a 7-game winning streak.
And then had 2 sad losses.
Well, they barely beat the Bulls, which wasn't good. And then they beat the Magic pretty easily. But then they just kind of looked against the Wizards, who they should beat because that's a key playoff seeding game. And the Wizards don't have their best player. So, the Sixers should definitely be able to beat them. And then they lost to the Heat because Dwayne Wade turned back the clock. And JJ missed a wide-open free throw
to quote
for 3.
To quote Wizards fans, that means we are a strong playoff team because at this point in the season, the Wizards can only beat playoff teams and they lose to good team or bad teams. So maybe that's a good sign. But Wade was playing motivated.
Yeah.
One of the 17 that was killed in Florida was buried in their Wade jersey. So he honored
had that
the
extra
night.
Motivation.
He honored the night in his name.
So good for him. I mean, can't be mad about that especially with the way he played. It's just a little bit disappointing because Hacka Simmons came back to bite us.
When the game was tied, they used the situation and it worked.
Yep. And then, they get a wide open look to JJ Redick, who paying him $23 million to make shots like that, but just not that time.
And the sad part is with that is right before he landed 3 straight free throws, and because he's the second best in the league at it, and then he missed a wide open 3.
What was the one statistic at the end of the game? I remember hearing it on the broadcast. I think they said Dwayne Wade was responsible for right before the game
15
ended.
of the last 17 points, and he
okay.
assisted for the last 2. So he was involved in the last 17 points the Heat scored.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say the 17 points. I didn't know exactly how many he scored, but I thought it was 17.
Yeah, that is some prime 08 D Wade stat right there. Yeah, so he came into the city, immediately made it his again, and proved why. He can still have games like these, and he'll ride off into the sunset with the Heat. We'll see how he'll perform in the playoffs for Wade. But yeah. So another thing to mention again with our game against the Wizards, we held the 6th spot for about 3 hours,
Yay.
and then upon losing to the Wizards, promptly dropped back down to 7th.
Yay.
And with the game against the Cavs, I don't know.
Yep.
We're at least getting the hardest part because we have the easiest schedule in the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting the hardest teams out of the way
Yeah.
first. So then we'll truly just be a cakewalk towards the playoffs.
So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
We should start. We need to start winning again if we want to do anything in the playoffs.
Brett Brown started to show some interest in lineups. I liked the one where it was TJ, Redick, Bellinelli, Holmes, and then Embiid. Because Holmes, you need to surround him with shooters because he can't do anything besides dunk. So I think put in the 3 white shooters, and then also Embiid as a center, so he only has to guard a power forward. I think that's the best way you can put him into the lineup. So I think he can still be good in spurts.
Yeah.
I know Ersan's going to take most of Trevor Booker's minutes now, but I think, every now and then put him out for like 5 minutes or so and energize the team. I hope we can bring Holmes back for next season.
It's going to be hard because we're getting LeBron, so.
Well, I think if we can...
Don't say it too soon.
If we can convince him to take his...
1+1.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Holmes, but his qualifying offer for like $1.6 million. I think that would be really good for us. But yeah, we're going to get LeBron. But that's simple enough. We just renounce all of our free agents, and we just have to get rid of Bayless.
Exciting.
Hey, Bulls, you want a free Bayless?
Yeah. Just take
We will give you a second-round pick to take him.
Yeah. We'll just get rid of him for us because no one wants him. So what should we do next? Because we got 2 things we can talk about.
Well, I think we should go with the...
Monte wants to talk, so I want to take a break.
Let's give him some talk.
He's gonna talk about the Olympics. So just if you get bored, just make sure you tune back in like 15 minutes.
15 minutes is way too long because there's not a lot.
I'll time you.
Well, we'll be talking about the NHL afterwards, so just leave.
No, just take a nap, I guess. Like
Yeah,
take
so,
a nap.
if you want to start talking
please
about...
still listen.
If you want to start talking, Monty.
Well, anyway, this just in, Scott Blackman, who is the CEO of the U.S. Olympic Committee, just stepped down from his positions among the allegations about improper response to the sexual misconduct cases going on in the Olympic or the gymnastics program. But anyway, on to good news. The Pyeongchang Olympics finally have ended. I believe it was on February 25th or 26th. Didn't get to watch the closing ceremony, but I know there were a lot of pretty memorable moments. The final medal count was obviously finalized at the end of the Olympics. Norway in first with 14 gold medals, 14 silver medals, 11 bronze medals for a total of 39. Germany in second place, 14 gold, 10 silver, 7 bronze for a total of 31. Canada in third with 11 gold, 8 silver, and 10 bronze for a total of 29. And the U.S. coming in fourth place in the medal race with 9 gold, 8 silver, and 6 bronze for a total of 23. A few memorable moments at these Olympics. I'm not going to do an entire recap of every single medal. Men's curling was the first American team to medal in the curling event, and that medal was a gold medal, beating out Canada, which nobody really expected, but don't quote me on that because I really wasn't paying attention to any Olympic sports up until the Olympics. Shaun White wins another gold in halfpipe. Chloe Kim and Red Gerard, 2 big 17-year-olds, prospective Olympians for the coming years.
This is stuff you talked about already. So
Yeah,
reference like the new medals
I
that
know.
we haven't.
Jack, are you talking about the Olympics? Let me
Get
be-
on with
come
the
on,
new
let me be.
stuff.
Chris Master, first American to medal in luge. He won silver. And the women's cross-country skiing team was the first team to win gold in U.S. cross-country history. And then the U.S. women's hockey team won gold. Please, Jack is still primed for a beating. Please come and punch his front teeth out in the studio because he said that the U.S. hockey team sucks. And that's all for the Olympics.
Did you not mention the curling team?
No, I did.
Okay, I zoomed out for a little bit.
I literally watched none of the Olympics this year.
Well, yeah, because they were all the events, all the good events were at like 3 a.m.
So the curling team, am I correct in saying that was the first medal America's won for curling, or was that the first gold?
I think it was the first gold.
It was the first American team to medal in curling.
And we got gold.
and we got a gold medal. That's the first thing I said.
All right, so
Come on now, Mike.
I zoned out. I was timing you. You were under 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't waste time. There wasn't really that much to talk about.
But the curling team looked like a bunch of dads that somehow wandered their way into the stadium. And next thing you know, they won curling.
Yeah, so go USA, winning in sports that
Nobody watches.
nobody watches or cares about.
It's the miracle on ice.
Besides
But
2 weeks, for 2 weeks every 4 years. The only time people care about curling is 2 weeks every 4 years. And even then, it's the joke of the Olympics.
Don't worry.
because it's a drinking game.
Don't worry. The USA, we will get our revenge in 2 years in the Summer Olympics when we destroy everyone
As
in
usual.
most sports.
Hey, Mr. Cop, when's China going to start stealing all our medals? Oh, wait, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Gonna win in basketball. 200 to 2
FIFA
again.
World Cup this summer. I'm also going to talk about that, but
Are you gonna talk about that right now?
No, nobody, because you guys are probably going to cut me off again because
Nobody cares about the World Cup because the U.S. isn't playing in it.
I would say a lot of people care about the World Cup.
Who listening right now? You're the only person out of the 3 here.
Right now.
Out of the 4 here, you're the only one that cares.
Right
about
now,
it.
put in chat, guys. If you care about the Olympics, then we should talk about it.
Let me just go make a chat real quick. Put it in there.
Oh, everyone said no. Okay, we're not talking
Yep.
about the World Cup.
Oh, good lord.
Cause yeah, you know who's gonna win this year? Probably Germany. Yeah. Okay. Talking World Cup.
Talking World Cup. All right, so
We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something a little bit special today. We're gonna Matt's. If no one remembers our Super Bowl prediction episode, Matt's bold pick was that the Flyers will be good, and it's come true. So we have a
guess
little treat. We have a
what?
little treat for all you hockey lovers out there.
All 2 of them.
talking hockey.
Yeah, we're gonna do an extended edition today, because
We actually got a
it's
picture
slow.
this time.
It's slow. It's still slow news cycle, and the Flyers are actually really good.
I got one person who says they care about the World Cup.
Who?
Maria.
It's your girlfriend. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
I'm
Whoa.
sorry.
All right, hold on. Let's hold on a second. You know what? No, I'm not gonna make. Nope.
Of course, she's gonna support you.
I'm
though.
not gonna. No, but I'm not gonna make a joke.
Yeah.
Go for
I
it, Bryce.
decided that the joke that I was gonna make was too edgy.
all right.
So I'm gonna hold off.
I know the way you're gonna go, but of course.
Oh, my dad cares. That's 2 people.
Oh, yep. People.
See, now, Spencer says no Olympics.
Even though we're talking about the World Cup and not the Olympics.
Well, Spencer doesn't matter because he makes like terrible puns.
good
so
to know
his
good to know
opinion
he's
is
paying
nullified.
attention to what we're saying.
But
I mean,
Spencer-
Yeah,
he's-
Spencer is on the bad friend list.
No,
All right,
No.
who
Spencer's
are
on the
you?
good friend list because he's
Spencer's
probably
on-
one of
yeah,
the only
he
people
listens.
watching this.
All right,
Jack,
all
who
right.
are you to say who's a good and bad friend?
All right. Guys, let's get back to talking hockey.
Yeah, so the Flyers are good again. They were really, really bad when we first started the show. They were on like a 10-game losing.
This is I just remembered the Always Sunny video where they had Preston and Steve like come out on the ice and Mac goes to take the shot. He comes out on ice and just face plants.
And they give him Dennis and Dee's podcast, and it's like, what is this? It's like the future of radio. Is there a war going on? I heard there's a war going on. Are we in a war? Well, actually, there's 2 wars. 2 wars! And are these wars being fought on U.S. soil?
You gotta fade in the Always Sunny music just really quietly.
Yes. Let me increase our odds at a copyright strike.
All right,
Everybody.
so-
no, if we're talking over it, it's
All right.
That doesn't matter. It gets
Okay,
over
so
there.
the
We
Flyers-
got to get back to
yeah, so, like-
talking hockey.
So, like, I think, like, right around when we left for winter break, the Flyers were, like, in the middle of a 10-game losing streak, and it was all, like, fire the coach, Dave Hackstall, who, this is probably the first time you've heard his name.
Who?
Yeah, you probably didn't even know there was a coach for a hockey team.
Wait, Philadelphia has a hockey team?
Yeah, so the Flyers were in the middle of a 10-game losing streak when we first left for winter break. And ever since the new year, they've actually been steadily getting better. They're actually, I want to say they're the best team in hockey since the start of 2018, and they're better than the Sixers now because they haven't lost a game in regulation since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And right now they're like first place in the division, so they're very good. Hopefully we'll get some good playoff hockey because that's always fun. Because playoff hockey is probably like one of the best postseasons to watch because it's so unpredictable.
Hey, Mike, will you watch postseason hockey?
No.
You should ask me that question.
Monty, will you watch postseason
No.
hockey?
You guys are gonna be missing out then.
Hey, Matt, will you watch postseason hockey?
I'm not even gonna watch any sports, so I got midterms to panic about, and then finals. There's no time for sports.
I didn't even know hockey existed outside of like the Olympics. The Olympics.
I mean, I thought hockey was a myth.
So, to quote a player from the Flyers, who I cannot remember the name of, he said, "Watching the Eagles win motivated the entire team, and that's why they're doing so good right now."
Yes, so we'll get some playoff hockey that we'll be able to talk about. I think it's looking pretty likely
You mean playoff hockey that you'll be able to talk about? Because
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
because we're gonna talk about it. Because what if the Sixers wind up missing the playoffs and the Flyers? make
They're
it?
not going to miss the playoffs, Jack. How dare
Do
you
not-
say that?
Are you not a truster of the process?
Oh no!
Get him
I
out.
think
Get
that's that's a strike. I think
out.
not trusting
That's
the
a strike.
process is like 3
Jack.
strikes on its own.
Get out.
I think it's time to end
Talking
talking
hockey.
Okay.
We don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I
though.
think
Oh no, we don't have anything else to talk about.
Okay,
no,
don't worry.
NFL Combine. Go back to the NFL.
Oh yeah, we completely forgot about this talking point.
Oh no! Let me go back to that picture. What am I
Yeah,
looking
so
at?
the
NFL.
combine
Yeah.
started yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, you didn't know it till I told you.
I did in fact not know that the combine started already. I thought that takes place at the first week of March.
NFL Combine.
I don't know what that is.
Well, basically, all right. Think about it this way. Do you know what the NCAA is?
No. Okay, this,
Okay,
is,
you know-
this is a bad analogy.
All
No,
right.
okay, so it's basically where all the college players that want to be drafted this season
Okay.
dress up in tight spandex and they run around on a field.
I like it. I'm interested.
But really, only when everyone only cares about the press conferences because it's a lot of first times like GMs and coaches are making media appearances, and then it's also an excuse for people to talk about football again, and
Yep.
get way too hyped up for the draft.
And you'll have players that no one wanted to draft, but then they'll show, hey, I'm really athletic, and they'll magically be picked in the first round, and then everyone's surprised when they're a bust. That happens every year.
Yep. So it'll be a
Here, let me train for the. Hey, I'm an aspiring professional football player. Let me play. Let me train for the draft. Do really well. Get paid a lot of money, and then do nothing.
Yeah. And then everyone lies about their weight. Supposedly Emmanuel Sanders drank 2 gallons of water, so he would weigh heavier.
I mean, I think that's a pretty solid flex.
and then they get to take the Wonderlic, which everyone scores really bad on that because college football players have no time for education. And yeah.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick, he does well. He got a perfect score.
No, he didn't get a perfect score. He has the highest score, but
Oh,
it wasn't
wait,
a perfect
wait.
score.
I forgot he got a perfect score in his SATs, and it was like 1 point away from. He was like really close to the
Well,
Wonderlic.
The
top
highest score on the Wonderlic is a perfect score.
Oh, it is.
So if he got the highest score, then it's a perfect score.
Okay, he got the highest score out of any player that has ever taken the Wonderlic.
What even is it?
It's basically like an IQ test, where you have to answer questions, but the whole thing's timed.
Is it just IQ in general, or is it like football IQ, where like?
It's a bunch of random questions.
So you're telling me they just play a game of Jeopardy?
I mean, is
Sure.
that not how you get in the
Yeah, they
professional
play a
leagues?
single game of Jeopardy where they're timed,
And
and
it's
they're graded.
essentially Jeopardy.
but
All
there's no
there's no money, but you
There-
score points
there-
on it.
yeah.
Oh, well, there's a lot
and
of
it's
money
timed.
afterward.
there's
Well,
no, there's no,
yeah, duh. Either
there's
way
no
you
daily
want.
double involved.
I mean, look, picture this. A special episode of Jeopardy that just has football players in it. Are you saying you wouldn't tune in for that?
I would
'Cause
tune in. I'd
I mean-
watch.
I probably wouldn't, but I bet someone who cares about football would.
Yeah, so the Wonderlic score, I don't think it's been proven to show any insight on how good the player will be, but it exists. I guess in case someone gets like a 0. I don't even know what the lowest possible score is.
They're still getting paid. What do you call a doctor that graduates from medical school with a C? Doctor. What do you call a football player that scored a 0 on the Wonderlic but still gets paid multi-million dollars?
A football
A
player.
multi-million-dollar heir.
Multi-millionaire.
Dollar A.
I'm so
That's
tired.
me. I'm a
please-
dollar A
please
right
save
now.
me.
I got like 3 whole
I'm a
dollars.
penny heir.
Ooh. Ooh.
I can buy 1 whole penny stock.
That's actually worth a penny.
Yes.
But yeah, so the combine, the combine
I'm liking this picture. I'm
Yeah.
liking this color.
it's a nice
Pretty,
color.
pretty color. Picked it myself.
Yeah, the combine is where a lot of people get overhyped, or players.
It's like the Westminster Dog Show, but for football players.
Yeah, sure.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and then also some people's stock tanks from a bad combine day.
Reuben Foster.
But it's weird to expect a player on a day that they cannot change to be 100%, and also they're not doing these things in pads like they will be on the field. But oh no, they ran like you could have a clip of a person that runs like a 4.6, which is like pretty slow for a wide receiver, but all of their college clips, they are clearly outrunning people that ran faster 40 times. But teams go, oh, I got to draft him lower because they can't do the correct running stance for a 40-yard dash, which is completely different from the NFL. I don't know. I think for the most part, the combine doesn't tell you much.
Yeah, nobody really cares about it. We're just talking about it to fill some time up.
I'm pretty sure now we're actually out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm glad
mean-
we're talking about the combine instead of talking hockey.
No, that's my bit. Don't take that from me. It's the only thing
It's a
I have.
strike for stealing Michael's bit.
All right.
No.
So wait. So how many strikes do I have now?
Like 10,000.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I
We
don't
just
know.
can't get rid of you. You just keep following us everywhere, so we feel bad for you.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why.
Thanks.
No, all right. So as much as I'd love to transfer from Bully Spencer to Bully Monte, so last week I talked about net neutrality a little bit. I'm just gonna give a quick update. I don't need no pictures or nothing. So basically,
Keep it alive.
pretty much. So
One more vote.
we still need one more. However, there was a court ruling that came out a little while ago that started long before this whole net neutrality thing, because in the past, the reason everyone was so afraid of net neutrality going away and going back to the FTC is because in previous suits, it's been ruled that the FTC didn't have the power to actually rule anything. Now they do. So there's still something that closes the gap a little bit, but it's not much.
So just to clarify, you're talking about transition in power over the internet from the FCC to the FTC, correct?
Yes. Now the ideal is that does not happen. But that's probably going to happen anyway, and we're just going to try and fight to keep the net neutrality laws that were repealed with it. And
Isn't the FCC more corrupt than the FTC though?
Yes.
probably. But
Since
the FCC
the head of the
still-
FCC is run by the previous lawyer for Verizon,
It's all a mess, but the FCC still has more power.
and the FCC we don't elect. Do we elect the FTC heads?
I actually don't know.
Are they also chosen so we can't vote them out?
But they seemed I haven't heard anything about them being as corrupt, but regardless, so Washington State, not the Washington that runs the whole country and all that, has passed, well, hasn't passed yet, but it's gone through Senate and the House successfully, basically saying that any ISP that wants to provide wired or wireless access in their state has to uphold net neutrality laws. Otherwise, it's not allowed. And it's currently being fought, obviously, by the ISPs, claiming that the FCC preempts state law and that it can't happen. So hopefully that'll go through, and worst comes to worst, we all move to Washington.
I hope our
How does the FCC preempt state law when the federal government didn't
we don't know.
penalize Colorado for legalizing marijuana.
We don't know. It's kind of a gray area.
It's a gray
so
area where if they wanted to, the DEA could just crack down every single weed dispensary in Colorado if they wanted to, and Colorado couldn't do anything about it. It's one of those weird areas. But I'm hoping our boy Phil Murphy follows suit with Washington
Yeah,
and tries to push the same thing.
I think he already did. I think he tweeted out something.
I think that
like
he
that a little
said
while
he's in
ago.
support of net neutrality, but I don't know if he's actually done any laws on the state level towards net neutrality.
He hasn't done any laws yet, but I think he tweeted it about it. or
But
something.
yeah, so Washington State's act is definitely the most ambitious. New Jersey and a couple other states have made an executive order from governor level saying that any ISP that wants state contracts has to uphold net neutrality. So as far as which ISPs have state contracts and how willing are they to keep them is up in the air, but it's something. So, Chris Christie's, not a lot of people like him, but he's trying something.
To talk in politics.
Chris Christie's no longer governor. It's our boy Phil Murphy.
Dummy.
Yeah, well, I don't follow politics.
Get learnt, dummy.
Yeah, Phil Murphy wants to legalize weed.
Go for it. Phil Murphy, you're fighting
Weed.
for net neutrality. You're fighting for weed.
Weed
I'd shake
is
your hand.
weed is bad. Do not smoke marijuana.
Do not push this
consume
harm-
alcohol.
What?
Do not get in the car with someone who is inebriated.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say don't get in cars.
No.
Don't get in cars.
I thought you were
We
just gonna
are
be anti-cars.
anti-cars. Take
All right.
bicycles everywhere.
All right, so that's all we have for today. Have a nice night. Oh, so
that was loud.
find us.
That was a very loud reminder.
So this episode will be on YouTube tomorrow. Make sure you look us up at Whole Milk All Fat Sports Chat.
Whole milk chat.
Well, that's Facebook.
No, the Facebook, the handle that you can look us up at is the same as our Twitter handle. It's at Whole Milk Chat.
But
Or
Jack is
you
talking
can-
about the YouTube.
Yeah, you can just search us on YouTube and find us too.
I thought
I
thought it was just
Please give us some feedback because we'd like to know how we're doing.
Spread the word.
Yeah,
we wanna
and
know-
spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell
And we want to know you're out there because we
your dog.
love the people who
your
listen.
mailman, tell the guy that works for FedEx,
and if they don't want to watch it,
tell
eat
the
'em.
tell the people where you shop, tell the ShopRite workers, tell the
people who work at CVS.
tell the police. Just call 911 and be like, hey guys, you guys should listen to Whole Milk All Fat Sports.
All right, and we're
This
taking
is an
my
emergency.
Jack
You
off
have
the
to watch
microphone.
Whole Milk.
So thank you for listening. As always, catch us again next Wednesday, 3:30 to 5.
Our last episode before spring break.